Okay, the title is a little bit of a joke leaning towards the hunters. I'm still mad about not having my 8th and final ivory key after the devs knowing for a long time that they're bugged out. So, I've just started playing the Division 2 again after just short of a 2-week break from the game, and I was looking through all the clan stuff and noticed how many players from my clan have stopped playing this game altogether. We have a 49 player clan which was made up with pretty active players, but now looking through it, it says that 37 out of the 49 players haven't touched the game since the last update. Every time there's maintenance, your gear score or level in your clan will say 0 until you log in again. The last maintenance for the game was on the 2nd of May, 5 days ago, and over half of the clan haven't touched the game since. So I want this video to be like a discussion about things that devs could do to make the game more enjoyable and enough so the players come back. Not just players from my clan, but a lot of the YouTubers that were covering the Division 2 every single day just don't play it anymore. I'm going to go through some ideas I have, and some of them might seem really far-fetched, but if you disagree or even have ideas to expand on mine, then the comments are down below. To start off, obviously the raid is sitting at number 1, originally set to release on the 25th of April. It got delayed until sometime in May, and although we're only a week into May, it seems like it's a long shot for the devs because there hasn't been mention of it at all. I really hope we get some news in upcoming State of the Games. I don't even know if State of the Game's still a thing because I looked on their Twitter and couldn't find anything about it for like the last 2 weeks. But next up, I think more exotics need to be added in, maybe with the addition of them dropping every now and then when you're out in the open world. I get that they're exotic weapons and they should be rare, but people have never really used them unless it's for the holster talent to apply some bonus stats to their primary weapon. And to put it in simple terms, I think either more exotics or improved talent seems to be the best way to put it. I think that would be pretty cool if the devs did something like that. Same goes for the gear sets. And I know they've got like the year pass where they plan to expand it all and everything, but these are literally just ideas I think that could get some of the players to come back to the game. Then we could have increased loot drops, kind of like a double loot weekend or even like a double XP weekend based event where it becomes easier over the weekend to get some gear and improve your build. A double XP weekend would work in terms of like double XP towards your field proficiency caches so that you could open them and try and get some better gear. Another thing I'd like to see is more loot just in general. When you get to World Tier 5 and you've done everything but the random invasion rotation, there's pretty much nothing to do in the game unless you're on PC playing the PTS and basically getting early access to upcoming changes or possibilities of upcoming changes, which could also be a reason as to why the player base has disappeared. And as I mentioned earlier, people that were doing daily content for the game have even gone off the radar, minus a couple of YouTubers. And not just that, things like increasing the loot drops from Heroic. Heroic just seems like an absolutely pointless difficulty on this game because it takes you like up to 2 hours to do a single mission. Some of the parts in the missions are almost impossible to master and they're taking a lot longer, but they don't reward you with anything but literally just one extra high-end item when you complete it and kill the boss. And you see a lot of people defending devs nowadays saying, "I'll give it a chance, the game's only been out for a couple of months, blah blah blah," but there seems to be literally none of that with the Division 2. Everyone's just turned into a hunter, they've shocked the game, in other words, they've chucked it on a shelf or just left it collecting dust in their game library, and then they've laughed in its face, aka blabbing to their mates and stuff how much the game has died and all the rest of it, and then they've disappeared. That one's self-explanatory. And I really hope that reminds you of the very first Division 2 Hunter encounter. I've basically just tried creating a scenario similar to the Agent Edward side mission in the game, where you encounter a hunter for the first time, but now reading it back, I'm glad I explained that's what I was going for. And now back on topic, something I would like to see in this game is easier inventory management. You create 6 loadouts, being 6 different builds, and you need to carry all the gear with you or return to a safe area to remove it from your stash. A couple, like maybe even 2 or 3 is fine, but when you get to 6, you're literally like a headless chicken wondering what the hell is going on. It makes it look very messy. I've tried favoriting items, doesn't help. I've tried running different builds at different times, and although my inventory looks smarter and cleaner, I can't change my build on the fly. And not just easier management, but I think we need more filters. When I go into my stash, I'd like to be able to see exotics and gear sets having their own category. And it's frustrating looking for a specific piece of gear and having to scroll past all of the gear set bits you found from your last mission. There is obviously ways to make it easier to manage, but I still think it would help to at least have relevant filters. And next up is the clan vendor. I wanted to have some sort of timer on the gear. When Tidal Basin released, it feels like years ago now, but with that update come a classic M1A set at a 492 gear score. I absolutely love the gun, nothing wrong with it. but it still hasn't changed. It's old stock, nobody wants it. I would like the clan vendor to at least have a timer, or just switch the gear out. Like, forget the timer, just switch the gear, give us something different. And that also brings me to the main vendor in the base of operations opposite the quartermaster and the specialization table. I'm sitting at a 495 gear score with my build. I've done everything in World Tier 5 and come on the game today to notice there are 3 purple items for sale out of the 4 that vendor sells and only restocks like every 3 days or whatever it is. Literally one high end sat in there amongst the 3 purples when it's possible for me to reach like 505 gear score, maybe a little bit higher. They're all sitting at around 470, so not only is it pointless, like I'm never going to buy any of the stuff, but all of my credits just sit there and build up. And you never know, they might come in handy with future content, but for right now, I have nothing to buy, so maybe some extra vendors or shorter restock times could be a cool change. But that is going to do it for now. I don't want the video to go on for weeks. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see added to the game or changed that you think will bring players back. That is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.